Oh, yeah. Well, more technical difficulties plaguing us. So if you find this, it's not because we told you in advance it was happening, because that one we had to delete because it wouldn't let us use our camera.
No.
So hopefully you abandon that one and find us on this one.
Please find us on this one. We're over here.
We are reaching out through the screen to tell you, don't look at that one, look at this one. So who are we? I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat beef and eggs and coffee.
Pretty good. I am JJ. I'm a life coach with some clients coming up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do have some clients this
Is it
weekend.
carnivore related?
It is not carnivore related. No, these are existing clients, so I haven't been able to insert carnivore. But I eat mostly meat and have had no salads recently.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's kind of a, luck of the draw because it depends where we eat, and we ate at a place that had meat. So me and my friend.
You ate meat.
So I had meat instead.
Well,
Yeah.
we just got done with a 43-hour fast.
Yes, 43 hours.
And I did it this time.
Yes.
I fasted and it was really good up until probably the last hour before we ate. And I started to feel real bad.
But I almost wonder how mental that was, because we thought we were going to break our fast at 42 hours, but the plumber came and turned off our water. And so we had to wait an extra hour. And I don't know, maybe your mouth was and stomach was just like ready for the 42-hour to end.
I don't know. I was having stomach cramps. So, and I was just feeling bad.
Yeah.
But I made it through it wasn't a huge struggle.
When is roughly the last time you did any sort of fasting like that?
No clue.
I'm not sure either. No. I am still doing I think this is week 2, or maybe I'm starting week 3. I'm not far in, but doing the 2 fasts a week. So basically I'm not eating on Thursdays and Sundays is the schedule. And so far, so good.
Well, I did the Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to do the Sunday.
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah. You doing the Thursday is a big deal. So.
Yeah. And I'm glad I did it because I started checking my ketones of late and they would be like 0.3, 0.4 on the Keto Mojo. And I was like, I don't think that's good enough. I expect better. And it didn't really matter how much fat I ate or what protein to fat ratio I did. That's just kind of where it was.
Mm-hmm.
I got it up to like 0.6, 0.7, but I don't really think I did that much different. And so the fast was a big experiment just to see how my body would adapt to it. And right before we ate, my ketones were 2.9.
Yeah, nice.
And my blood sugar was 70 something. So
yeah.
It was pretty strong, but I did not feel good.
Now what will be interesting to see is how quickly your blood sugar and your ketones return to what they were at baseline.
Okay.
I was going to say normal, but that's not really a great.
Well, I'll keep testing it and we'll see.
Yeah. I've noticed with mine so far that I'll have my fast day, my refeed day, and my blood sugar stays lower on refeed day and my ketones stay a little higher on refeed day. The day after the refeed, same thing, but the third day of regular eating on carnivore is when my blood sugar returns to baseline and my ketone. So it's just data. The hope is my blood sugar is usually around in the 100s and low ketones, like you said. And so the hope is that through doing some metabolic stressing of my system through these 2 days of fasting a week, that I will be able to sustain a lower blood sugar and higher ketone level. That's the hope. It's an experiment. And as I said last week, if it gets to be where I am famished, like just starving, and the 2 days of fasting, and again, they're not consecutive, but if that doesn't work for me, I'll stop. It's not a big deal. So yeah.
Well, that's why I stopped, because I was thinking maybe I should just, you can go ahead and eat, and then I would go and eat dinner or something,
Mhm.
and I would get my full 48.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was feeling so awful. I was like, nope, I'm eating now. I don't want to make it to where I'm making fasting unpleasant, because
Yes.
otherwise I won't do it again.
Right. Right. That's no good.
So,
That's not
and
good.
I've never had a good fast where I've felt good. Even when I've done the 5-day, I felt awful, worse and worse throughout the whole thing.
I've
So,
never done that extended.
um, I don't know what to say. It's just different people are different.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you had something about Dr. Boz?
Well, no, actually, I don't
No,
want to
you
get to
want
that yet.
you don't want
I
to talk
want
about
to
that?
start out with an apology. I need to make a
Oh, okay.
public apology. Last Friday during our live, I had mentioned that I'd made Courtney Luna's corn muffins that morning, carnivore corn muffins that morning, and they were fine. Wasn't sure I was going to make them again. Kind of eggy tasting. But I told you, they're good enough. They're a good vehicle for butter, and I will eat them all. Well, the following day, I put them in the air fryer with our steak at 450 degrees, got them really toasty and golden brown. They're delicious.
Did you put the corn juice in it?
It's an extract, yes.
So
So it is natural, it is flavoring,
But there's no
but
carbs in it?
there are no carbs. No.
So does
Other
it
than
make it corn flavored?
I can't really taste the corn,
Oh.
so I wouldn't probably do that again. But the texture turns beautiful when it's really well toasted. And I know she has said this before that her breads need to be well toasted, but I thought I had it covered. Day one, oh no, no, no. They need to be toasted. like a oh gosh, George Hamilton, who was the real tan guy back in the day in like the 80s? He was on the Love Boat and stuff, but he did a vampire spoof movie too. Oh gosh.
It's not ringing a bell.
Something about one bite. I don't remember. But anyway, the real tan guy. So your muffins need to be really tan. Like really George Hamilton tan. But it's really good when it's crispy like that.
What's in it?
It's been a week since I made them, but it's like eggs and chicken.
It's eggs
I
and
don't
chicken.
know what else.
There's not cottage cheese or anything.
No, nothing.
Got it.
There is, I feel like there might be some dairy though. I feel like she might have a dairy-free version, but I don't remember any dairy really. I don't think there was cream or anything. So
it's something I actually could try.
Yeah, and we can look at the recipe to make sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you can try it. I only have 2 left, but I would give one to you.
Ooh.
Yeah. But again, it's kind of the texture, the flavors, that egginess goes away when it's toasted to me. You might think differently, but it's really sort of that texture thing. It's really.
Okay. Well, venturing out and not having just beef and eggs for me is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I apologize, Courtney. Your muffins were good, and I will probably make them again. They're really easy to make, so it's not like it's a huge ask. So yeah, I wanted to make sure to get that out today.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You did it.
I did it. I did it. So do you want me to go into Dr. Boz?
Yeah, it's on the list. It's a top of the list.
Okay.
I assume this is ordered.
Oh, no, it's not ordered at
okay.
all. I was watching Dr. Boz. As you know, I'm following her quite a bit in recent months, and actually sort of following some of her protocols with this fasting. Although she does like a 72-hour fast, I'm not doing that at this point. I'm doing these 2 separate days, but still following a lot of her protocols. But she did a video this week on menopause. And so if you think you're perimenopausal, I would check that out. Even if you're postmenopausal, any woman can check it out because it happens. But she said something that I found very interesting. And of course, I jotted the note down now and listened to the thing days ago. But the note was that she mentioned that cholesterol in women rises at a certain time frame prior to menopause. It's like a signal that you're about to enter perimenopause or menopause or something like that. But there's this precursor cholesterol rise. And I had never heard that before and thought, oh my goodness, do the doctors know that this is a physiological thing, or do they start getting panicked when they see a woman's cholesterol rise when really it's just this sort of precursor signal? I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So you could imagine that many women are prescribed statins because of that particular phenomenon.
that is what I was wondering.
That might be transitory.
That could be transitory. Yeah. So
Interesting.
it was very interesting, and she does talk about hormone replacement therapy in some different ways that I've heard talked about before. She does things differently than I do, and so yeah, it was a really good session, good video.
Okay.
Yeah, another good video in the carnivore sphere. Is there a word for that? Like one of those
The carnosphere.
carnosphere? I was so happy about this that I left a comment. I don't leave tons of comments on videos. I should, because I know that's important to YouTubers, but I'm busy doing things while I have the YouTube on. And but this came up and I was like, oh, I need to watch this. It's a Dr. Barry video called Why Carnivore Helps Mental Health. I think it's about a 10-minute video. It's pretty short, but I left a comment because we refer people to Dr. Barry.
Hmm.
We're like, oh, when people ask us, we're like, oh, check out, search on Dr. Barry, whatever. And the fact that in 10 minutes, he just gets down to the nuts and bolts about what it is about carnivore that helps mental health, I thought was fabulous, because as much as I love, hold on,
Yep.
Dr. Eid, take your drink. As much as I love her and I think she's extremely clear, to be able to send someone to a 10-minute video that just opens the topic up. Here's why. And he talked about the nutrients that are missing in a regular diet and the nutrients that are found in the carnivore diet, basically. That's the gist of it. But I did leave a comment thanking him because I was just so happy to see that come up.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my dashboard, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for us carnivores who have followed other doctors like the good Dr. Eid. It's not like it's going to be hugely revolutionary, but just so succinct and, like I said, just bam. And it's got the great title again, because you can just send people right there.
And the title is?
Why Carnivore Helps Mental Health.
Oh, that's a good
Period.
title.
Yeah,
That's
period.
pretty clear.
And that's it. That's all that he talks about. So again, a basic video, but like one that I think was needed. I haven't seen a short like that
Oh,
like
that's
from
brief.
that's that brief from Dr. Eid or is it Dr. Palmer?
Yep.
Yeah, there just hasn't been anything that succinct that just says, here you go, here's why, period. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I just watched one. Dr. Baker had an update on his blood labs on, I think, 8 years carnivore he
Mhm.
is now. And it's a very fast video. So it's one of the newest ones on his channel. He goes through them fast and they pop up on the screen for like a half a second. And he's like, it's all normal. It's normal. This is normal. But it's just good to see the long-term carnivore isn't just all in the red like I am. So, and he covers testosterone, some lipids, and basic blood stuff. Basic, like blood count and neutrophils and basophils and stuff like that. And it was all good. He's in good shape.
Yeah, his videos tend to be short unless he's doing an interview, which is just a longer
Yeah.
form video. But yeah, his
People like blood lab videos, especially if they're nervous about starting carnivore. Or they like to see that. I mean, that's how. Before I would start carnivore, I watched a lot of people talk about their blood labs, and then I did carnivore, and mine didn't do did any of those
No.
good things. So
No, they didn't.
it's maybe it will. Maybe that's ahead of me.
Well, I've also been watching Bella. This is funny to me. We are members of Bella's, what's it called? Steak and Butter Gang. Like we pay for the membership. And I do use it. I do go in there. I do watch some videos. But she has been doing Friday night lives the last, I think, about 3 weeks. And those are just on YouTube. regular old YouTube, and she brings on a lot of Coach Raymond and uh, is it Todd Bachnes? Just a bunch of people that are normally around. Dr. Phil, and I am addicted to those things. I watch she'll be on for like 2+ hours and I watch them. And I just think it's so funny because it's like we can watch these types of videos anytime in the membership. But for some reason, the Friday Night Lives, I am like watching all 2+ hours as I go about usually my weekend, basically, as I go about my weekend chores and things. I just
We would
watch.
definitely need more than just the two of us to do 2+ hours
Oh
of
my
live.
goodness. But she gets just a few more viewers than us, Annette and Lisa. Just a few. Plus she has a whole panel there. So I mean they can
Yeah.
talk amongst themselves even more than we can talk amongst ourselves.
But what makes it so good?
I don't know. I don't know. Um I mean, I think the questions are interesting. You do get a lot of different perspectives with the people on her panel because they do things differently. Um, but I don't know. It's just hanging around listening to people chat. I really like that.
So,
Yeah.
excuse me. I've been trying the not adding a ton of salt thing
Mm-hmm.
that she kind of advocates, or at least the way she does it. She doesn't use much added salt, as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Dr. Chafee. And I had seen Amber O'Hearn on X talk about that carnivores will often do better when they stop adding massive quantities of salt. I don't think that's been the case for me.
Mm-mm.
Um, I feel like I have a lot more pronounced heart palpitations when I'm low on salt.
Mm.
And so then I go eat some salt and then it kind of resolves and I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's just an adaptation thing that over time you just need less and less, but right now I can't do just no added salt.
Mm-mm. And that's true. You were talking about that last time that you were not doing much salting at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am not salting meat a lot because I add a little bit of a seasoning to it that has some salt in it. But yeah, I don't understand why we're all different. Why can't we all just work exactly the same, eat exactly the same correct diet in the exact same proportions
Same
and have the
results.
exact same perfect results?
Yeah.
But that is not how it works. And I think it's just because we're all broken. Our metabolism is broken and dysregulated to different degrees. And therefore, when we start eating the proper human diet, it just takes a different amount of time and certainly a different amount of um, elimination of things to get a certain result. And that is irritating to me because I don't want to have to think about this stuff too much.
Mhm.
And I continue to have to think about it because while I've had amazing success on it, I want more.
Yep. So here's where I can go into this one. Should I talk?
Yeah,
Are
you
you
should.
ready to
Yeah.
talk this one? All right. I was listening to Dr. Kiltz this morning and his podcast, and he says this regularly. So it's not even just his most recent podcast, but he does not believe in doing a bunch of testing. So you said, that you wanted, you like to see the people's blood test results, the
Mhm.
carnivores. You came to Carnivore and we're watching all the results, and your tests haven't performed the way you have wanted them. I've got some issues with my tests that I don't love. And his philosophy is really that the tests are there, at least my understanding. The tests are there so that people can prescribe
Drugs.
well, in the medical field, a drug, a supplement, their program, like there's some solution there that someone is sort of trying to sell you.
Mhm.
But also, even more than that, that it gets our brain into this belief that something is wrong with us when we really are better off not harboring those negative labels about ourselves, and that we're better to just go through life without that. And that is sort of his thought. And base our living on how we are actually functioning versus what the numbers say.
I understand what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree totally, but I could be wrong.
Do tell.
Um, because I've been completely indoctrinated into the current model of you do blood tests for screening for possible problems so that you can detect them well before they develop. And so people who are eating SAD need to have
Mhm.
their A1C, their fasting insulin, their lipids, and um, and other things tested so that the doctor can say, "Hey, look, your metabolism is screwed up. You need to go carnivore." Now, that's not what they do
No.
because for my whole life, I had elements of metabolic syndrome and no doctor ever said a word.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know if it's because they didn't recognize it for what it was or it was so normal that they just felt that where I was in my life, that was typical and therefore not of concern. Plus, if the number's not outside of the lab range, they consider it normal and they're not at all concerned about optimal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I got so involved down into the quantified self movement kind of early on where you just track and measure everything that it just, and there's the Deming quote from management, what gets measured gets managed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is true in business to a certain extent if you have good leadership, but it hasn't affected my blood um, panels at all, except for when I took a statin, during which time my LDL was lower.
Mm-hmm.
But no intervention I've ever made has made any significant changes except for, insulin and A1C.
Now, you did mention something. You said, when you're on the standard American diet, that it's this measure, but he puts his faith in carnivore. Like he eats mostly carnivore and just has faith basically that is his, like he doesn't need to know the numbers. That's just what you do. And it's going to give him.
I wish he were here with us to so he could transmit with his energy and his wisdom to me that feeling of faith.
Mhm.
I have zero.
That
I
is
have,
true.
and I've talked about this on our channel many times. I have a long history of health anxiety.
Mhm.
So I am constantly concerned about my health. I am hypersensitive to every sensation in my body at all times, as she well knows, because during the fast, she knew exactly what trauma I was enduring. And I understand this. So I'm also realized that I'm coming to it from a particular filter
Mhm.
on reality, which is one of you must be exceptionally highly vigilant at all times for extreme danger at every instant.
Mhm.
Not a good place to be. Don't recommend it.
No, I don't recommend it either.
But as I try to get myself out of that mode, maybe I should test less.
I don't know because I totally get what he's saying, and I'm a life coach, so I've done a lot of mindset work with myself and with clients, etc. So I get what he's saying, and what I realized about a week ago when I decided to do this 2 days of fasting per week, I realized that, and I'm doing it to correct my numbers, right? I'm
Mhm.
doing it because I know my numbers and I'd like to see them get better. But it gives me energy. Like like choosing to do this experiment gives me more energy into the carnivore diet and more motivation, and it doesn't feel like a stressor to me right now. It feels like it's a positive driver. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think if I could relax
Mhm.
and just accept the diet will do what it's supposed to, I'd be way happier.
Yeah.
But it is not a matter of deciding to relax. I've
No.
just made that decision 1 billion times in my life, and I instantly unrelax So if you recognize that behavior, I feel your pain.
Mhm.
I know what that's like.
But we'd love to hear from you too. What is your feeling on this? Do you test and love to follow the numbers? Do they give you anxiety? Do they motivate you? Or are you like, no, I'm just keeping my nose to the carnivore grindstone and not worrying and just trusting that this is the route to go. And I don't distrust carnivore, let me say that, but just putting all your faith into it and not worrying. I don't know.
Annette's in the sauna.
Ah, nice.
That's a good place to be listening to us, chat. We don't have our sauna moved here yet.
We don't.
It's one of those infrared ones, and I don't like it.
No. I can't sweat in it.
It doesn't get hot enough.
It doesn't
get your body hot enough,
No.
because the way that those work is they heat your body, and I would rather have one that just had hot air in it that made me hot.
Yeah.
Keisha, hi friends, I'm catching your live. Hello.
Hello.
I think Lisa's already gone
Yeah. Hi.
off to an interview, so you're
Oh.
going to be watching the replay. So hello. Good luck.
We appreciate that you stopped by even for a few minutes.
Ned, I did a 48-hour fast when mom was in the hospital. Just too stressful. I lost my appetite, was super busy trying to renovate the house while she was recovering.
That reminds me though, the super busy. You were in motion yesterday evening and afternoon. Like you were
During the fast.
during the fast, you were vacuuming and stuff.
I didn't feel like I was in fast motion like you get,
Oh, well.
but I did do some things.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Anytime I
Well-
vacuum is a huge deal. So
That's true, but you also sometimes you'll call it like a sick day. So I'm going to
Yeah.
sit on the couch and
yeah.
so you didn't have a sick day with your fast.
Alan says, instead of salad this morning, I smoked a 32-ounce porterhouse because salad is toxic. Planning on a 16-ounce of 80/20 burgers, and this is on a cutting program.
Wow.
So the next message says, the bodybuilder cut calls for 1.25 grams of protein, 0.72 grams fat per pound of goal weight, and it's working.
Wow.
So you have to track your macros pretty closely then. That's great. You're going to have to
Wow.
get a new, smaller sized salad is toxic t-shirt.
And Alan, I was telling Eric earlier that I did not have any salad this week. It's been a bit.
And it's because
Salad is toxic, let me hear you say. Forget the greens, live another day. Salad is toxic, join the parade. Make a swift escape, leave the greens at bay.
all right, that's good. He says, I am totally relaxed regarding blood work. I'm not interested in new numbers. My LDL is 365, one for every day of the year. And I'm happy because I feel great. Well, that would be all the testimony you'd need. Yeah. And when I feel great, I will be happy to not look at my labs anymore. That's awesome.
Wow.
This is the guy who ate 2 lambs in 1 month, though, right? Let's go over here. We have a bunch of comments from other videos that I want to take a look at here. I got to rearrange some windows so I can see what's going on. Yo Mama says, this is an old video too. I'm listening to this on 2 times. Listen to her laugh. It's cute. Can you imagine JJ's laugh at double speed?
I'm going to have to listen to it now.
It'd be like a chipmunk. Happy
Oh,
anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah, we had our 2-year carniversary. We did that video Wednesday.
Yes. Yes. That was a fun video to do.
It was. And
But we forgot something.
what is it?
You said we tried to talk about what's happened in this past 12 months for us. And a big part of it was starting this YouTube channel. So yay. But that we also got our carnivore bar affiliate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened this year as well,
That
which was
also-
kind of fun.
Yeah, it was just cool. Just cool. I actually want to order some. It's I've got an empty wrapper on my bedside. So to remind me to order some carnivore bars because I really
Link in the description. You can get some % off. What is it? 10, 20?
I think it's 10.
Something. I think it's 10% maybe.
Yeah.
That basically pays for shipping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Link in the description with JJ and Eric. Anyway, happy anniversary. Lots to celebrate. I'm new to your channel and 3 months in on Carnivore. What I love most about y'all is that you touch on things I can't quite articulate on my own, and some things that so really didn't realize I was feeling. You're very educational and helpful. Please don't go dark.
That's reference because we made the commitment to each other that we would do this YouTube thing for a year. We didn't expect to even have the results that we've had
No.
by this time by any stretch. But we said, we'll do it a year no matter what. And I said in that video that who knows, after a year, though, we may go dark. I don't know. I really don't know what we'll do.
And I said something like that too. There's no plan.
No, there is no plan.
Don't have a worry that's like an automatic thing.
But I love that because you, as you've told me, and I know I talk backwards a lot of the times. I start in the middle and then I back up. But you are very articulate. I really appreciate that.
I edit the videos to make myself more articulate than I am.
No, you are a good communicator. I'm good when I've got my PowerPoint slides. If I've got slides, I'm good.
Bree with love. Happy 2 years, Carney. And you guys, this may sound odd. Like, I think many of us can relate that we are addicted to eating this way, which is not a bad thing at all. But I'm also weirdly addicted to seeing your guys' content. I dig it.
I love that.
You both are real and down to earth, and the humor is an added bonus. Blessings to us all eating our meat. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Yes, Bree. Thank you.
Courtney, Karen Miles is hosting the Chicago meetup downtown on Saturday, December 7th. You guys should come. Well, we should, but we're not.
Why not?
Because the night before, we are going to see a stand-up comedian in downtown.
This is December 7th.
No, we're not going to see that at all. It has nothing to do with it. We will be at sea.
No. But
no.
We're
not going because it's downtown Chicago.
That's what he told me. But I actually do work that weekend. You don't probably know that, but I work that weekend, life coaching stuff.
So the one thing to know about me is there's almost no chance I will ever go downtown Chicago again in my life.
It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
I hate driving in the city.
I think the last time was to go see Hamilton.
Yeah. And that was enough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drive downtown Milwaukee to go see that comedian, but that one will be pretty easy.
Yeah, that's coming up next week.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Hello, congrats on your carnivore anniversary. 2 years is a very long time. I'm very impressed. You both look great for your age, which I believe you stated is 53.
True.
It'll be 54 for me pretty soon.
Very soon.
This is my birthday month.
Yes, it is.
Big respects to JJ. I love how she is embracing her gray hair.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I did. I always had this idea. So I've been blonde all my life. Blondish, sometimes darker than others. But my grandpa, who was where I get the blonde hair from, had white hair, like Snow White. Not the character. She doesn't even have white hair. But he had white hair. And so I always had this idea that maybe in my 50s, I would let my hair go. Now, if you keep dyeing it, it won't turn white, right? Because you just keep dyeing it. So I was like, I wonder what it's going to do. Now, it's not white yet. I think it will trend that way as I get older and older. But when I turned into my 50s, I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to let it go. Plus, we were in 2020, right before I turned 50. There were no hairdressers to go to that were open. So it kind of collided with my sort of esoterical thought that I might do it. And then I just did. And yeah, so here I am.
I barely notice it because it's very close to its normal color. And I do think Carnivore has slowed or even slightly reversed the gray.
Yeah, you have said that. I am an ash blonde anyway. So yeah.
So you may not know this, but I too have embraced my gray hair. I've done nothing to change it.
He has done nothing. You can maybe see it a little though in your whiskers.
Yeah, I'm very
today.
scruffy today.
That's because you were fasting.
Why would that be?
Because I would say it's because I'm trying to pick my words well.
Why do you think that I just couldn't bring to do any normal hygiene
Well, no,
while I was fasting?
no, you do normal hygiene. You're very, very hygienic and clean. But that type of thing, you're less likely to do because you have this sort of attitude of, I'm kind of not 100%, so I'm going to take things easy.
Yeah, that's right.
So, which is why when you were in motion yesterday afternoon and early evening, it was surprising because usually you're in that sort of state with this type of
Yeah,
thing
that's true.
of, I need to take things easy.
Well, what it was the dog brings in so much dirt and grit on his feet. And we're in a new house and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Plus we have central vac and I like using it because it's fun.
He was the one who insisted on the central vac. And I think it was a good move. It was good.
There's no doubt that it was a good move. When Dr. Boz views gluconeogenesis as supply driven instead of demand driven, I'm interested in how your experiment works out. So in our last live, we talked about this. And then when I saw the comment, I'm like, yeah, we did talk about it. What was the conclusion?
I don't remember. I was just thinking the same thing. I don't remember.
Because we had a long, intricate conversation about this. And I kept questioning, like, so many people say if you eat too much protein, it will cause gluconeogenesis, which will drive your blood sugar up. But then I've heard others say that it's more demand based, and that if you're keto adapted and not in a carb burning mode, your body won't demand the liver to create the glucose. And I never really got a clear answer.
Yeah. So I will keep you posted on this experiment though. And I don't know. Well, I'll tell you my secret thought, and don't hold me to it, is I kind of would like to try this 2 days of fasting mostly through the end of the year. I'd kind of like to try it that long. Like, we'll see. But as I said, I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to listen to my body. And if I need to move into priming or back off a little bit, I will do that. I'm not looking to lose a bunch of weight. I'm not looking for anything but improved. I'm hoping for improved blood sugar, but I really do love deeper ketosis for the mood benefits. I mean, that's really, mental health is huge for me.
Me too.
So yeah, so if it gets to be a place where I'm not, if I'm getting obsessed about food or anything mental off or physical off, I will back off. But I will keep you posted.
My chili pepper. Congratulations to Eric and JJ. No cakes and cookies, no balloons. Bad for us, the environment, and the marines and birds. Just many happy steaks times gazillion. And this no balloons thing, now that we have this property with some multiples of acres, I find so many Mylar balloons out in the woods. I can't even believe how many. I never thought about it because, people release them and then they come down. And they come down in their litter.
It's kind of funny that chili pepper is called chili pepper. And talking about many happy steaks times gazillion.
Why is
I wonder,
that?
well, chili peppers, I know, aren't carnivore.
But it's spelled Chile.
Oh.
It's not chili like the chili pepper. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Meeting wellness. I know exactly what you mean about grass-flavored meat. I bought some grass-finished beef from a local farmer, but I couldn't eat it. I had ordered a half beef from them that was grass-finished, and it prompted me to change my order to grain-finished from them. Well, yeah, because that steak tasted like a ball of grass.
And I was a little concerned because it kind of, the next couple steaks you had, you were like, ugh. It was like it's stuck into your mouth,
Yeah.
and you had the association. But I think you're over that.
Yeah, the
now.
fast cleared that out. So that was a good thing about the fast. Yeah. My chili pepper, I agree with Eric's view on science. My take is the same. Keep up the good work. We did a whole diatribe on,
Mhm.
well, I did a whole diatribe
It was
on,
his diatribe, but I
on-
agree.
on science.
Yeah.
So that's a response to that. I am pro science. I am skeptical of scientists. Not all the scientists, but you just got to have skepticism these days.
Mm.
My food addiction, I'm used to cheap meat. The grass just don't taste right. Yep.
Mhm. We have had a, not shortage is too strong of a word. Getting our steaks has been challenging. We do not buy a half a cow or anything because I don't ever know what type of cuts we're going to be eating, but I can guarantee you it's never all the cuts. So we don't buy a cow. So I rely on going to local grocers for the most part. Sometimes I'll hit a good butcher shop or something. But the grocery stores have been very low on steaks lately. I've resorted to Aldi, which is good. I mean, I don't mind Aldi, but the moral of the story is like twice a week I'm having to make the rounds to all of the grocery stores to stock us up on steaks for a few days. It's kind of weird. I don't know what the deal is.
We need to get in on Bet on Beef pretty soon and
I think
get
so.
a box.
I think so because it's just been a little tough
Yep.
lately.
Amy says, I'm excited to see how your N of 1 experiment turns out. Please keep us posted. I once tried to fast 24 hours twice a week. Could only do it for 4 weeks because I became really hungry all the time. Backed off to 1 day a week, and that was more sustainable. I appreciate you're all standing your ground on the science topic. The level of corruption in quote unquote science has blown my mind the past 4 to 5 years, from corporate researchers down to the neighborhood MDs that are local to me. Because of certain experiences I've had in the past few years, I've honestly lost confidence in believing what a medical doctor tells me. What should be a dialogue has become dogma. I'm out.
Thank you for that comment,
Yep.
Amy. That was awesome. And I will, like I said, keep you posted. But she mentioned the neighborhood doctors, which reminds me, I went to my doctor last week, my
Yeah.
general practitioner, which around the time I turned 50, I started going for an annual exam. I hadn't been to one for ages. Just to sort of stay in the system. Part of me wants to totally be out of the system, but part of me is like, I feel like I should be in the system for things. But anyway, what is amazing to me is when I started seeing her several years ago, like 3-4 years ago, she was very negative on my hormone replacement therapy. She was needling at me a lot about things and how many tests I should be getting and all the things like you'd expect. And I went in, it seems like each year it gets better and better. And maybe that's because we have an established relationship now. But this year I came in looking the way I do, which is pretty dang healthy. She was like, oh my gosh, you look great. She gave me like anything I said, she took. And I think it's because I looked healthy. Like she didn't push anything on me. Now, again, she might have shifted in these last several years too. I know a lot of doctors have had a hard time in the last several years. But I really felt like because I looked healthy, both her and the nurse just accepted it. Like just accepted it. They didn't give me any recommendations. They're like, you're good. And I just thought that was really interesting to have that reaction.
Yeah, well, that's good though.
Yeah. She didn't press me for anything. Yeah. Well, it made it a lot easier. I can tell you that.
So Angela says, and Rachel says, hiya, I'm almost 5-year carnivore, extremely strict because of a myriad of health issues. I found that through the years, I've had to add fasting to keep my blood sugar, insulin, hormones, A1C.
Interesting.
Continued. And it's, here it is. In check. I just did a 90-hour fast and my numbers are beautiful again. Call it a reset. I'm also a 56-year-old female.
Thank you for sharing that because because we're right in that age range there. And
Fasting blood sugar in the 70s. My A1C is 4.9 to 5.1. I maintained my weight for 2 years after losing 65 pounds.
excellent.
So that is amazing results.
Yes, and again, thank you for sharing that you've had to move into this as well. That's good to know. Good to know.
Steakman Allen says the Relax infrared sauna is supposed to heat quickly. I'm waiting for
Oh.
Black Friday sale. Well, Black Friday is soon.
It is soon.
As a matter of fact, I got one of those Black Friday today emails. So Black Friday doesn't even mean anything. And I clicked on it because it was something I was interested in. And then I was like, you know what? I think I can fix the one I've got. And then I did. And then so I didn't buy anything at all. So their Black Friday thing actually made me not buy something. Annette, I do blood work, but then make necessary changes. I fix my low estradiol, progesterone, testosterone, and I'm proceeding accordingly. Yeah, that's the thing is if you don't test for those hormone things, that's pretty hard to figure out.
Well, yeah, I would say so. And because I see a hormone replacement therapy doctor, those are just automatically always going to be happening.
Yeah.
And he checks other things too because he wants to make sure our other markers are in line.
Remington Steal My Heart. Hello from upstate New York. I never can tell when YouTube says live at 3 p.m. if that's your time or mine.
Yours, I think.
I think
Sounds
it does.
like it's yours.
Yeah, because we set it for 2 p.m.
We're
and that
central.
would be central, yeah. Angelica Carnivore. I think more research needs to be done because I don't think our numbers should be going up. When my blood sugars start trending to the 80s and 90s, I fast to get them back in check.
I'm with you. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm doing this is because it doesn't seem right. And again, some doctors in the carnivore sphere are like, that's fine, but it just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. Annette, hit the like button if you haven't already, guys.
Thank you, Annette.
That's right. That is an important thing.
It's so important.
JH, been reading 2 great books, Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by Dr. George Ede. That's water, by the way, in my big Yeti. And The Big Fat Surprise, Nina Teichholz. So I don't fall victim again to sad or vegan diet hypnosis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you read Big Fat Surprise?
I have read part of it. I have it.
Oh, you do? Do you have
Yeah.
a physical copy?
Yes. It's over at the other house right now.
Okay.
We got to bring it over here.
I might want to page through that a little bit.
So great suggestions.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'm ever going to fall into standard American or plant-based. And by plant-based, I mean just eating a lot of plants. I was never vegetarian, but as they say, the standard American diet really is plant-based. So I never see myself going that way again. But I do really find it necessary for me, again, to maintain my motivation and stay away from as many salads as possible to constantly be watching other carnivores on YouTube and reading.
Yep. Always be learning.
Yeah.
But that's also a bit of a risk for me because anytime I hit contradictory information, my brain goes on tilt. And then I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I wanted to include this one. I love her laugh. Want to get over your depression? Listen to her laugh. 100. And try Keto Carnivore 2, of course, lol. That's right.
I love that, man.
I like when people comment JJ's laugh, compliment her laugh because they're correct. And one, I like to rub it in the face of people who don't like their laugh, her life. Can't talk. I like to rub it in their faces because they're wrong. And they're probably really sad people. And they probably need to just take the laugh in. Don't resist the laugh.
Don't resist.
You're resisting her laugh, and that's why you don't like it. It's because you're resisting it. You got to allow the laugh to pass through you and resonate with your heart. And then you too will feel the same joy she feels.
I like that. But I'm wondering if when we first met, you were resisting. Maybe that's why we didn't get along at first.
No, you were just a snotty kid back then. What's your trick to drinking coffee without something like stevia? Otherwise, for me, my coffee tastes like dishwater. Now, I did respond to this comment, but I thought it was good enough to bring up here. My trick is that I drink it black, and I like it.
You just like it.
So that's not really a really good trick. That's like people who like fish. It's not a trick on how they eat it. They just like it, and so they eat it. So, yeah, I've got no trick. But I think that if you want to keep coffee in and you want to get rid of the sweeteners, yeah, that does become a little more difficult, especially if you want to get rid of dairy too, because then you can't be putting, well, you could put butter in it, I guess.
So for me, I didn't touch coffee for like 50 plus years of my life. It was vile. It was disgusting. But I liked the smell. The smell is good. And somewhere in my early days of proper human diet, I started craving it,
Mm-hmm.
which was weird. But I don't like strong black coffee. I drink cold brew because that's milder. You said it's more, and the way I make it is like really watered down. You said it's more like a tea,
Yeah,
a cold tea.
it's no good.
So that's how I drink it. But I didn't want anything to do with it and started craving it. It's just so weird to me. Still so weird. Like my friend, Vicky, it's okay to say her name. She's a huge coffee drinker. And I've known her for a long time. And I'm like, you'll never guess what I started drinking. It's crazy.
Well said, and a big cheer from the other side of the ocean. I do very much agree with your talk about science. Please continue with your very good videos. JJ, I've done a whole week of fasting, and to be honest, the first 3 days weren't easy, but then one gets used to it. The only thing is, here in the Netherlands, where I live, it's becoming colder and colder, and whilst fasting is hard to keep one's temperature comfortable. I have to dress like a polar bear to become warm enough. I hope you live in a more pleasant part of the world. Well, we do and we don't. In Wisconsin, it can get quite cold and quite snowy.
But I don't think it's Netherlands.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe it's the same.
Maybe. I get cold when fasting as well, even just for my shorter 40 some hours. Let me see. I was going to say something. One gets used to it. I don't know. I was going to say something else.
Well, I guess if you think of it.
Yeah. I know what I know. I thought of it. You were tossing around 72-hour fasts, and Dr. Boz does 72-hour fasts. I am scared of those so far. So I'm sticking to where I'm at right now. Going longer. It's so funny because I have positive associations with fasting, and yet going beyond 48 hours just feels really intimidating to me right now. So now, if I had a health condition that required it, I would be all over
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
Absolutely. But right now,
I slept horrible last night during the middle of that fast.
Yeah.
Some of the worst sleep I've had in a long, long time.
Yeah, I just suck it up.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. I get my iPad out, put on the red filter and watch some old TV game shows like that are just mindless.
Game shows. That's so weird.
There's no plot. I mean, so it works for me. And there's no music on the ones I watch, really. There's no music because, music and it can go into my mind.
Hello, Hope. Glad to see that you made it and that you're enjoying the lives with Bella and the gang. Hello, Deborah. It's good that you made it and joined us from Vancouver, Washington, not Canada, nowhere near Canada. And Annette says, I keep thinking of what my ancestors from Scotland, Norway would have eaten: meats, seafood, eggs, probably tubers and similar in the winter to overcome starvation or lean times if hunting wasn't great. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm also of Northern European, Scandinavian descent. And so that seafood piece, I'm like, why do I hate it so much? Because I feel like it should be in my DNA to just eat the seafood. I don't know.
I can't explain it.
I Neither can
I,
I.
I don't love it, but I can eat fish.
Yeah.
So
That's the one thing my mom didn't even force me to eat as a kid. Like when I was a kid, you had to eat what she made and what was on the plate, and that was it. And we didn't eat much fish after my parents' divorce, but before the divorce, my dad would go fishing and we would eat his fish. Well, we would try to eat his fish. Um, and they would be like, you need to sit there and eat that, period. You're going to stay at the table till you're done. And eventually my dad would get up to take a shower or something, and my mom would be like, okay, you don't have to eat it. And that's the only thing she ever bent on. Like, she sent me to bed on Thanksgiving once because I wouldn't eat something for Thanksgiving. So yeah, fish she knew was not a thing to.
speaking of which,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is this month,
It is this month.
and we are hosting
Yes.
a bunch of family for
Yes.
Thanksgiving. What are you going to make?
I'm making a standard. I mean, your family comes for my standard Thanksgiving. I am making the standard Thanksgiving. I did toy with this though. I don't know. So, standard Thanksgiving, what I make is trigger alert if you have an issue with hearing about carbs, but I make the turkey and gravy and stuffing. I make an apple stuffing, gluten-free. Mashed potatoes, they're a refrigerator potato, which has a lot of fat in it. It has sour cream and butter and cream cheese in those potatoes. And then I usually make some little gluten-free rolls that your brother has deemed like the best rolls he's ever had. And they're, again, gluten-free. And then last year I started making salads, and a salad. Yes, a salad that had a little bit of goat cheese, apples, arugula, and a vinaigrette. And so that's my standard, and
That's what people expect.
that's what people expect. And we have our nephew coming from Colorado, and he's had my Thanksgiving
his
before
fiancé?
with his fiance. They're bringing her family. So yeah, but here's the downside. And I've been thinking about this. I start preparing that meal ahead of time, so I'm not cooking it all on Thanksgiving. So I'll make the potatoes and the stuffing, part of the stuffing ahead of time, and the rolls. And I need to taste the food. Like, I can't
As
cook
a
it
chef.
without tasting it
Yeah, that's dangerous.
because I need to adjust the seasonings, period. Like, there's no doing it without tasting. So Thanksgiving week, there's going to be a little bit of plant matter entering
the
my system.
Good thing though for you is that you're a moderator and you won't go completely off
No,
plan forever.
no, I will not. But my thought was, I don't know, you're planning on sticking carnivore. That was the original thought.
That's the original thought. We'll see if I can withstand the holiday pressure.
Yeah. So I toyed with the idea. I have made a rib roast on the big green egg for Christmas. You don't remember this, but my brother, who used to be a chef at a fine dining establishment, is like, it's one of the best things he's had. So I was considering making maybe a rib roast to go with the turkey. So there'd be like more meat.
That sounds good.
But I don't know yet.
That gives me an option.
Thanksgiving is already a pretty big lift.
Because turkey doesn't have a lot of fat on it.
No. But I'm already cooking a lot. Now they always bring the sort of hors d'oeuvres. We have sort of a charcuterie type thing ahead of time. And then they also said this year, with the in-laws coming, they're going to bring dessert as well.
Got it.
Yeah. So
Well,
that I don't only have to focus on the main meal.
everybody who is watching who's a carnivore has to go through this. I mean, in the US anyway, if you've got a Thanksgiving, but you've got Christmas and other holidays coming up that are all food frenzies.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't think any tradition or faith has food frenzies coming up. And that is a dangerous time. And navigating it, requires planning ahead and deciding in
Mhm.
advance what you're going to do. Last year, we allowed one day for Christmas. We
Had one
allowed
day.
one day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to do that this year
Yeah.
because I
But
don't think it was worth it last year.
We have more control. We have control over everything. I could just serve meat to everyone, but I'm not doing that at this point.
That's not why they're coming.
Um,
They're not coming to see us. They're coming to eat your food.
They kind of, it's a bit of both. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, with Christmas is just us, and we go to dinner on Christmas Eve,
Yeah,
but we can order whatever we want.
that's right. We get a steak.
Yeah. So that's not, we have more, but Thanksgiving is a tough one.
You're a rebel, JJ. I also lived near Seattle for 22 years and could get salmon and other seafood caught that day, mostly from the tribes.
Mm,
So maybe it's more delicious if it's brand new,
maybe, well,
straight out of the river.
yeah, that might be true.
For Canadian Thanksgiving, we had flank steak, prawns, salmon, and tons of butter. It was absolutely delicious.
That's right. Thanksgiving has come and gone in Canada. Mm.
JH, I've been examining if I ever really liked vegetables in salad. I found that it makes people more comfortable if I order veggies and salad at restaurants in social situations like holidays. Yeah.
That is really interesting, though. I've been examining if I ever really liked, because years and years ago, I had this realization about donuts. I was like, I'm not sure I like donuts. I've always eaten them. And the truth is, I think there are some that I like, but for the most part, I didn't like donuts, but I ate them anyways. Like I never thought about it.
That's weird. Yeah.
I didn't hate them, obviously. If they were fish, I would have known. But yeah, I just I'd never really thought about it. And I was like, oh, this is not that great.
Well, if you're going to enjoy going off plan for the holidays, we're not going to judge you.
No.
That's not what we're about.
Mm-mm.
But it is good to have a plan of setting your boundaries and limits of what you're going to do. And for me, last year it was one day and the next day back on plan.
Yeah.
And that worked. Although I don't know that it was worth it because I don't think I enjoyed the off-plan food as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that happens too.
And then I had all of the digestive issues,
Yeah.
kind of crop up. So
Yeah.
Annette says, I always hated veggies.
Mm-hmm.
Ask my mom. I had hide the veggies in my cheeks and spit them out in the toilet. Yeah, I was one of those kids. I just could not get them into my mouth, and I was willing to I would take any punishment over the eating of the veggies. There was nothing that they could do legally. And once as a kid you figure that out, then you have all the power. So that was our live. I recommend you watch our Carniversary video because we go through the big wins that we had during the past 1 year of carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
That came out on Wednesday. The statistics on the video, because I get to see them, are great. People tend to watch most of it, but YouTube isn't showing it to anybody. And I just don't know why. I kind of suspect because it's election season here in the States and people are, their attention is drawn elsewhere. So I'm looking forward to that being completed and behind me. So in about 12 years, we can get back to normal. And I don't mean that in any particular way, just that I think it's going to take 12 years to get over this year. Hope says, I have never been a fan of cooked vegetables. Peas are disgusting to me. I pick them out of everything. That's funny because I kind of like them. They're not great, but they're not awful. So anything else
No, I
you
think
want to
I,
share? I think we've gone
I
through the
think I've
comments.
covered my whole list.
If you're not subscribed, at this point, I don't know why you're watching this. Because come on, we're awesome. You love it. We are thinking about how to do some sort of fun, cozy, Thanksgiving-oriented live stream. We don't have any total concepts yet, other than maybe a fire in the fireplace behind us. But it won't be on Thanksgiving Day. So the other thing we could do is a long pre-recorded video that people could join us and watch for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I know that one of the things I really enjoy is there's a little bit of downtime on Thanksgiving, and I like finding a long Thanksgiving themed video from my favorite channel. I don't know why. I just do.
You have a little downtime on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you don't have any. You don't get any.
But I enjoy it.
Well, we do all the usual things. We watch the parade with our daughter. Watch the dog show.
I'm not going to be able to see the parade with you.
You're going to have to
in this new
get
house.
it going on your iPad or something.
I will need to do that, but that's a little bit of a bummer. This kitchen has a little bit of separation from the great room, which overall I'm really happy about. But there are some cases like that where it's not going to be as good.
Yeah, you won't be part of it.
No. Boo-hoo. All
right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Sunday with a pre-recorded video about some topic. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like us to talk about, put it in the comments, because I won't see it if you put it in the chat, but in the comments below, and we will consider adding that or trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And hope that you guys have a great November, because I plan to.
Birthday month.
That's right. Birthday month. And on my birthday, I will have probably a steak.
I know it's kind of, I mean, that's part of my love language to you used to be making you the cake.
Yep.
Last year, we did not do cake. We did ice cream instead because it has a lower impact on us.
On our blood sugar.
Our blood sugar. So I didn't cook. And this year, probably going to be just steak. Yeah.
Just steak.
Very different.
Every day, live every day like your birthday, and make every birthday like every day, which is stay carnivore. And with that, bye-bye.
Bye.